y'all, my name is Anna, welcome to my channel, and today I'm doing my 8th update for my Back to Broadway project pan. Now, if you don't already know, this is a project pan I created myself where I chose however many items I wanted, connected them with a Broadway or not Broadway musical, and once I finish it, I roll in a new item connected to a different musical. And if by some chance you are interested in this concept because you love musicals as much as I do, then by all means, you can join. That would be amazing. Anyways, enough of that intro stuff. Let's just get straight into the products. Now, the first one is for the musical The Hunchback of Notre Dame, and it is the e.l.f. Natural Glow Lotion. And you can't see from this lighting, but it definitely has thinned out. Before, I believe there's still some air. I definitely made progress. It's just not something that's easy to track just because of how the product settles in the bottle, because I would love to write a line like there. However, I can see that there's product all up here, just like around the edges, and so I don't want to do that because I just feel like it's not accurate, you know? So yeah, I just taking pictures is working for now. Not super eventful, but steady progress, and I'm fine with that. Now, the next one is for Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, and I introduced it last month. I'm already done with it. I did not think I was gonna finish it that quickly. I guess it was just super thin. I guess I knew that, but for some reason, the month before, it didn't change in that month. I felt like it just nothing. Maybe I don't know. I thought it would take longer. Oh gosh. Anyways, I really enjoyed this powder. The formulation is so perfect for my dry skin, at least in my experience. It is not mattifying, but it is not like glowy, so that when you put it on everywhere and you look shimmery or like shiny. It just looks like this natural finish. It just has like this perfect skin-like sheen to it. I would definitely repurchase this if I didn't already have a powder, but honestly, recently I've been wondering if I even need powder at all because my skin is dry. I've been using it so that like the powder products for cheeks can blend better on top, but today I didn't use any powder. I guess it was a little bit more work to blend it, but it didn't look bad. And my face feels, I guess, slightly less dry. Not like this dries me out, but you know, just more powder. So yeah, I was going to roll in a new powder, but as you will see later, I didn't because I wanted to kind of see how I feel about not wearing powder every day or only wearing powder when I feel like I need it. Or, yeah, so. I did really like this. I don't know if I will repurchase it once that other powder is finished in like 30 years, just because who knows how I feel about powder by then, but I would recommend this for dry skin if you are looking for a powder. Now this next one is both exciting and disappointing.
That's so upsetting.
It is a little Franken bronzer I made out of some shades from the e.l.f. Matte for Matte palette ages ago. I made it into a loose powder because it kept on cracking and breaking and falling apart, so I put it into this little Lush sample container, and I finished it about 2 weeks ago because I was, I believe I was doing my makeup. I don't know why else I would be opening it. And I was holding this in my hand, and then my mom called out to me through the door, and for some reason it startled me so that I was like, "Huh, what, what?" And then it fell on the ground and spilled out the majority of what was in there. And what was annoying was that I was finally actually seeing progress. I felt like I was seeing the bottom of the container. It wouldn't cover it all. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I'll be able to show progress next month, like actual significant progress, because I could see that it was getting lower, and it wasn't, I was like, I can see the end, I can finish this in a few months. And then I lost all that product, and so there was a little bit left. It took a couple times, and then it was done, but I'm still counting it as an empty, because I worked so hard on using it up, but it's just annoying that I was finally seeing progress, and then it all went away. Now, the next product is for Mean Girls the Musical, Yes, they made it a musical. The movie's still better, but it's a musical. And it is this Franken Tinted Lip Balm blush. I mostly use it for blush, but I have been using it on my lips as well. It's like this brightish pink shade. However, I'm actually wearing it on my cheeks today. So as you can see, it's obviously can sheer out and look quite natural. So I totally forgot to mention how many times I used each product. So like, I don't know where my brain went, but I used this primer 25 times. So I have worn makeup a lot more this month. So happy about that. This powder I wore 18 times. And that was how many times it took to finish since last time. For this bronzer, I only used it 6 times this month because it kind of died. But I used it 86 times since I started this project. Which, wow, that's a lot. And the fact that I was barely making any visual progress for a while, that's why I want to count it as an empty, because it's not like I used it a few times and I dropped it. It's like I used it a lot. So, yeah. Back to where I was, because I'm forgetting what I was doing. I used this 12 times in the past month, so pretty decent. And in those 12 uses, I made so little progress that I'm really questioning whether or not I want to pan this, because I was hoping I would finish it by the end of the year, and that doesn't add up.
Well, the sign says that it's 4 quarters for an hour, but a quarter only gets you 15 minutes. Yeah. So if my math is correct, that's not an hour.
That's not an hour.
Not an
but
hour.
It is. And also,
a quarter, 15 minutes?
This one is for the musical The Last 5 Years. I've only used it 5 times. As you can see, same amount of progress, half the usage. So I could realistically finish this up by the end of the year. I have worn it a lot less because it's just a bright pinky coral shade. It looks orange, but for some reason it looks a lot more pink on my cheeks. It's still like corally, don't get me wrong, but I just haven't really I've been wanting more muted. I don't know, I guess I've been into bronzy-ish looks lately. Pretty satisfied with the progress I made considering I only used it 5 times. Now this next one is for the musical Hello Dolly, and it is the Buxom Lip Gloss in the shade Sugar. And I've made decent progress considering I'm working on 2 lip glosses. I feel like I wasn't trying to focus on this, but I found myself wanting to use it more. I prefer the formula. It's slightly better. They both have a mentholy taste and sensation, and I don't enjoy that. Some people love it, so if you do, this is definitely a good formula. I said it was sticky last time. The more I use it, I realized it's not really sticky. Once it fades, it has a slight sticky residue, but not a ton. It's just, the mentholiness almost gives me a headache. Not quite, except for the one time that I had a really stressful day and it actually did give me a headache. I'm pretty sure this kind of did not help. But for that reason, I wouldn't repurchase. I just don't like plumping glosses. I've used it 8 times in the past month, so
Big boobs? What? Child. Anyway, so
I don't really have much more to say. I like the color. I don't like the plumping effect. In that same vein, we have this Catrice lip booster in the shade Nuts About Mary, and it is for the musical Thoroughly Modern Millie. And I have made pretty similar progress compared to last time. I would say it's pretty even. I have only used it 6 times, so I think when I wore it, I just reapplied it a lot. I want to finish this up before I start school, because then I'd be wearing a mask a ton, and I wouldn't get as much use out of it. Also, I just bought a lot of lip glosses, which is weird timing, I know. I will talk about it in a different video, but I would like to use this up so that I can kind of play around with the other ones. Now, since I did finish 2 products, I will roll in 2 more. I might not roll in something every time if I don't have anything to roll in, but this time I do. For this powder that I finished, I want to roll in a highlighter, which I haven't tried panning since that liquid one that I decluttered because it wasn't good for me. So it is a actually depotted eyeshadow that I use as a highlighter that I put in this makeshift magnetic palette that I created. And can you guess which one I'm choosing? This guy. This is from the Milani, I'm gonna say it was the Bare Necessities palette. If it's not, then I will correct myself on the screen. But it was the first big shade, and it is this beautiful champagne. It's just like my skin tone flashes this like white champagne, and as much as I love it, I haven't been using it because I've been like, oh, there's so little left, I don't want to use it up. I chose the musical Catch Me If You Can. Again, yes, they made it into a musical because I'm ready to say goodbye. As much as I love it, I want to really enjoy it and then say goodbye because this is just ridiculous. There's so little left. I should just say goodbye. Now, because I finished this bronzer, I forgot to mention this was for the musical Heathers because it was damaged. And I am replacing it with my last bronzer, which is the Butter Bronzer. And I chose the musical Waitress because of Sugar, Butter, Bronzer. Yeah, I just felt like it was fitting because it has the word butter and the whole theme was sugar, butter, flour. I have actually hit significant pan on this before, and then I repressed it, and it was as if it, like, just replenished its stock. And so it looks like it's brand new, just full to the top. I've been using it for the past 2 weeks because of the accident with the other bronzer, and I've made a slight dent, not really, so I have a feeling this will take me many, many, many months to use up, but it's fine. I'm not in a rush. I just would like to get this out because I do not consider Physicians Formula cruelty-free because I don't know how to feel about brands that only do post-market testing. Like, they're not subject to pre-market testing, but for those brands, it's like, I guess they're technically cruelty-free, but since I don't know how to feel about them, I'm like, I'm just not gonna go there. If I don't know, then I'd rather just be safe. I don't know. That's just me. You can do whatever you want, but yep. This is in the shade Light Bronzer. I don't know how well you can see, but it has a very almost golden undertone and a beautiful shade. However, I don't know how flattering it is compared to like the last one, which had a bit more reddish than yellow, and I feel like that looks better on me because I'm more cool tone. Why do they do this? So that's pretty much the video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have used any of these products and what your experiences are with them, or what you think about any of the musicals I mentioned. Yeah, I hope that you have an amazing day. Bye!